Hello and welcome back to another session with us at Rooftop app. And today, since it's Hanuman Jayanti, let's make something really cute and creative. We are going to paint a Bal Hanuman figure, which looks something like this. I will show you a close up as well. Okay, and it's going to be very simple, super duper simple, and step by step. So let's quickly get to it. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so first we'll start with the drawing, okay, with simple shapes, and then we'll see how to paint it. Today I'll be using poster colors and very basic colors that we'll use to create this beautiful painting, right? So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm taking a paper and let's get started with the head. Okay, now if you see, the head is in the top 1/4 section of my paper, and then the 3/4 section is the body. So let's get started and let's kind of decode the shapes in the face. Okay, step by step, let's break it down and let's see how to draw this. So here I have my paper. Now somewhere on the top is going to be the face in this circular area, and then at the bottom the rest of it will be the body. Now starting with the face, I am going to quickly make the mouth area. So I'm just drawing a circle, and from here I'm just creating two curves just like this, okay, and adding the nostril. So I'm just going to add two small curves, and now let's quickly add a smiley at the bottom, like a nice big smile at the bottom, and add two curves. Okay, and now let's add just a V shape or like a letter A going upwards. Okay, so this is the front area of the mouth like this. Okay, so we just drew two curves, and then we made the nostril, and then we added like an A shape going upwards and a smile face. Okay, now what we're going to do here is I'm just going to add the top part of the nose. So it's just a small curve on the top. Okay, and I'm going to continue just creating the smile. Okay, now around this what I'm going to do is, so this is circular, and over here let's just create a small little border like a jelly bean shape, okay, or a kidney bean rajma shape just around it. Okay, now from here I'm going to start making the eyes. Now for the eyes, keeping it super duper simple again, just take a nice big U shape or a reverse U just like that, and come back inwards. And similarly on the other side, let's start with a U shape. Okay, come back inwards and join it at the side. Okay, now let's create the eye inside. So I'm just adding a circular shape and leaving it. So let's paint it together later on. Okay, so just adding a circular shape. Alright, so here we've kind of created this, but let's join the bottom of the mouth. So let's get a little bit of extra curve on the two sides and join it at the bottom just like this. Okay, so curve, and I'm just joining it at the bottom. Now let's go ahead with the head shape. Now the head shape, what we're going to do is we're just going to create a small little curve on the top. Okay, exactly on the top we'll just create a small little curve, and on the two sides let's just get it where the eye is meeting the cheeks over here. Just leave a little bit of space on both the sides, you can mark it. Okay, and then I'm going to take it coming downwards. So just like this, and similarly on the other side, just a curve coming downwards. Alright, so now let's quickly make the tilak. Okay, if you think it's not even, you can make it even, slightly more even. Okay, and then we'll continue. Now here what we can do is we can start adding the tilak. Now for the tilak, very simple, I'm just going to draw two straight lines coming down, okay, and a V shape just like this, adding a circle at the bottom and quickly drawing a long droplet shape, just going upwards. Simple so far. So what we did was we started with the nose, okay, the mouth area, and then we moved ahead to drawing the rest of the mouth. Okay, then we started adding the eyes. Okay, then we added the forehead and the tilak. Now let's see what we can do next. The next thing that I'm quickly going to do is I'm going to add a mukut on the top. Okay, so just like this, here I'm going to start drawing from the center, leave a little space, just going to draw a curve coming downwards on one side, coming down, and then same thing on the other side, just coming down like that. And on the top, let's quickly add a design, and the design can follow in both the directions, just like this. Okay, so here we are just making a design going downwards. Similarly, I'm going to do the same thing. Now if you see in the center, it's slightly bigger, and as it's moving downwards, we are making it slightly smaller than the previous one. Okay, all the way till the end. We'll just draw this. Let's move ahead and quickly draw another part at the bottom, which is just the circular, like a jewel in the center. And over here we can probably add another line just going downwards on either ends. And here I'm just going to do some design. You can add your own designs as well. So I'm just going to add 1, 2 and 3 swirls. You can add many more if you like, and if you have the space. Alright, so let's quickly draw the eyebrows. Okay, now where you made the tilak, where we ended the V shape, from there let's start drawing the eyebrows on either sides. So just the eyebrows going to the side, on both the sides. Okay, and here what we are going to do is we're quickly going to make a little bit of hairline, okay, coming down just like that, and then going to the other side as well. Alright, so let's move ahead and draw the hair going upwards, again leaving some space on the mukut itself, and then in the center I'm just going to take it here. So let's take the hair going upwards and going to the center, and similarly on this side let's continue coming downwards just like that. And let's continue the mukut on top as well. So I'm just going to make one curve, the second curve, and the third one on the top, just like this. Okay, so what we have is the head in place. Now we need to add the ears. Alright, so let's quickly add the ears, just a C shape on both the sides and a reverse C shape for the ear. And let's quickly add the earring. So 2 circles and 2 big circles. Okay, so just a bigger circle and a bigger circle downwards, and to this maybe we can add a tiny circle at the bottom as well. Okay, since we are already done till here, let's quickly draw the neck. The neck can just be again a simple U shape, and from here let's leave a little bit of gap. So maybe you can use like a finger distance from both the sides. Now I'm using an A4 size sheet. You can probably do it on a bigger sheet or a small diary if you have one, that's also fine. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just quickly going to draw the shoulders at the side, at both the sides. Now for the shoulders I'm just getting it towards both the sides just like this, curve and curve. Okay, now I'm quickly going to draw just a necklace. So I'm just leaving a little bit of space in the center again, Okay, now whenever we draw, make sure that you have a very light central line. If you have drawn, it makes your drawing a little simpler for you to understand. Okay, so I'm just going to place a dot on my central line over here, which is very light, and from here I can start making the necklace going upwards on both the sides, just like that. Okay, and now let's draw the hands coming downwards. Now the hands are going to be pretty simple. It's just in, you know, the shoulder, after the shoulders you could get a curve coming downwards or a line coming downwards. Okay, and then going inwards with a namaste position. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to figure out, so this is my central line, so over here is where my palm will end, right? So this is where my palm will end. Now imagine a droplet shape on both the sides. Okay, so imagine a droplet shape on both the sides, and these are the palms that will be joining like this. So imagine it looks like a droplet shape. Now from here, from the droplet shape, I'm going to start making the hand just going behind like this. Okay, again similarly on the other side. So whatever you do on one side, you have to make a reverse or a reflection image, like a mirror reflection, okay, on the other side. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish the hand. I'm joining it at the side and taking a curve going up, and same thing over here, this joining it on top, and this is the rest of the hand. Okay, keep it similar if possible. Now from here what we can do is, for the hands we make a line going up and 4 fingers. So 1, 2, 3, and join it similarly like this, even on this side. 1, this is the first finger, 1, 2, 3, and 4th finger, okay, coming downwards. Alright, now what we'll do quickly is we can start adding details in the jewelry. So I'm going to make it a nice kada in the middle over here. And similarly, same thing on the other side. Okay, then we can add some design in the center a little later on after we start the coloring. Now once we're done with this, let's quickly add the rest of the body. Now the rest of the body is going to be slightly smaller itself. Now over here in the center, just below the hand, I'm making a knot of the you know, the pants or the dhotar that he'll be wearing. So I'm just going to add a circle in the center, adding 2 lines at the side just like this. Okay, now the legs are going to be in a folded position, which means they're going to be 2 big ovals coming in the center like this. Okay, now one side, and the same thing on the other side. Okay, if you see, you can see 2 big ovals in the center. Now here what you can do is you can either show only one leg or you can show both the legs. Now in this case, here both the legs are seen, but in any, like, you know, in a different situation, maybe you can also add one leg which is going behind over here, which can't be seen, and the second one can be shown. So something like this. Okay, now let's add details to it. So I'm just going to add curves to the dhotar. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and maybe a smaller one over here at the side, and similarly over here coming inwards. Okay, a few lines on the top as well, and then let's draw the curves of the dhotar going inwards just like that. And now on the top over here, I'm just going to show one leg, okay, that can be seen. So let's make a line coming down, let's add a toe, and then you can just add this much. Okay, then we can make the rest of the fingers like that. Okay, let's keep it super simple. Alright, the next thing that we want to do is we have to add some more jewelry that we can directly do with the paint as well. Okay, now let's add some more jewelry on the hands, on the sides. Okay, so it's also called a bazu band, which you can wear, or which a lot of people wear during weddings, and it's a piece of jewelry that a lot of people wear. Nowadays only ladies wear these, but these were worn by maharajas and you know uh, these characters and mythological characters. So yes. Okay, so here you can continue, and let's make a nice long tail. Okay, so going on one side and then coming out of the other side, just like this, to make the painting look a little more dynamic. Alright, and here let's add the rest of the tail. Okay, you can also probably show Hanumanji's gada. And you can add some design later on with the paint directly, or you can probably make a very light framework so that you can work around it. Alright, so the drawing is pretty much done. Let's add a little bit of hair, longer hair coming out like this towards the sides. So we are pretty much done with the drawing. Let's get to the painting now. Alright, let's add the part of the dhotar coming downwards. Okay, so I think it's a pretty simple drawing that we have made today. Let's see how to go about with the painting. Alright, so for paints, what I'm using is a simple color palette where I've used mostly all the primary colors, and then we can use one or two of our other colors as well. And the first thing that I'll start painting with is I've made a simple skin color. Okay, now we are going to paint in a few areas. Okay, so here I'm going to paint near the ears. Okay, now how do you make skin color? You can mix a little bit of orange with yellow and a little bit of white, in fact a lot of white, to create skin color, or you can use red, yellow and then white. You can use multiple different variations for skin color. You can use slightly darker shades towards the edges so that it looks like it's shaded a bit. Okay, let's go with a slightly darker shade on the mouth area. Whenever you're painting with poster colors, remember to keep the consistency like honey. So make sure that you have enough water, but not too much water, but because then it starts looking very patchy when you use your paints. So if you want a very like a even layer, you make sure it's the consistency of honey so that you can give a simple nice smooth patch. Just like this. Let's continue painting the arms. Also going to paint the tail. Now since this looks like a cartoony figure, what I'm going to do is I'll give it a nice black outline later on. That's why I haven't erased my pencil lines, also because you all will be able to see it clearly. But when you're painting, make sure to erase all your extra pencil lines so that you can see it you know, you will be able to see the pencil lines, and the painting will look nice without all these extra lines in them. A very interesting Hanumanji painting which I have recently seen is in the Fud painting style, where the artist has painted the entire Hanuman Chalisa in Fud style. You all can check it out. Even in Cheryal art, I've seen, you know, like the Hanuman Chalisa being painted completely on one canvas, and it's really beautiful. Moving on to the shoulders and the rest of the body, and make sure you color the entire body in the same color. Just like this. Keep continuing. Always remember to make enough paint before you start painting, like, you know, make sure you have enough of that particular color. Otherwise what happens is then you may not be able to match the same color again. So always have a little bit of extra paint. If you're mixing some paint to create like a darker shade, always have a little bit of extra with you. Now finally I'll be adding a little bit of the same peach shade that I've made for the skin tone on the legs as well. Now I'm gonna mix a little bit of yellowish shade in my peach color. I'm gonna paint towards the forehead and a little towards the ears. For a bit of shaded effect. just like this. And let's do the same thing on the forehead as well. And I'm making sure that my paint doesn't go inside the tilak because I want to keep it white. Now for the nose area, what you could do is nose and mouth area, you can use a little bit of a darker uh, orange shade or even reddish color, you know, to make it properly stand out. I'm using a little bit of orange shade under the eyebrows as well. Moving towards the orange shade. Taking a bit of orange shade and painting it near the mouth, or rather near the nose. And then on either sides. And just like this. Taking slightly darker orange shade and painting in a few areas. Now I'm going to start painting the mukut. So I'm just going to use the chrome yellow and finish the earrings first, and then move ahead to the mukut. You can turn your painting around. I'm also gonna paint the rest of it, just leaving the central part as it is, because we'll be adding a little bit of a red shade in the middle. I'm also going to do this yellow shade in the dhotar. Similarly, painting the other side. Let's move to the jewelry. Now for the jewelry, what you could do is you can use a little bit of a lighter shade of yellow. If you're making the painting with us, do drop a hi in the comment section. You can also post it on Instagram and tag us at Rooftop app. You can also join our WhatsApp community, where you can share your images and you will get instant feedback from us. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with all the yellow portions, a little bit on the top though. Now let's move ahead to the next color. I'll be using green. In the center over here. And then moving towards the two sides. Whenever you're painting fabric, make sure you paint it in the direction that the fabric is flowing. So now the fabric is tied, and in both the sides moving downwards, so you can paint it similarly just like that. Moving on to the shade of red, I'm just going to add a tilak in the center. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a necklace. Now for the necklace, I'm going to draw a droplet shape, or in fact I'm painting a droplet shape in the center with the red. You can also draw this with a pencil first if you're not confident enough. You can directly do it. Okay, and then I'm going to create these simple dots coming downwards, leaving some space and creating the next one. Similarly on the other side. Okay, let's do the same thing with the green shade as well. Just like this, and between these green shades what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a drop of white just to connect these. Similarly on the other side. I'm going to paint white on the inside of the eyes. Well, you can also leave the white of the paper. Using a little bit of orange, slightly watered down version of orange, to create these lines on the dhotar. Just a few lines, just like that, to show the folds. Can use a little bit of water to blend them as well. Okay, let's move on to the details. Let's also add the colors for the eyes. I'm using a brown shade. For the eyes. So slightly darker brown, just a circle. Let's do the same thing on the other side as well. We'll wait for it to dry a bit, then I'll add the black and finally add the white dots. Okay, while we are doing that, let's also paint the hair. Similarly, painting the hair that's flowing at the side as well. Now once we're done with the hair, what we are left with is the outline and a few more details if you wish to add some. I can use a fine detailing brush and take a bit of yellow ochre color. And use this slightly darker shade of yellow for the details, like this. In the jewelry, I'm adding a few lines. Now let's add some more details in the necklace. You can use a fine detailing brush like a 000 to add more details. I'm just taking a darker shade of brown, just outlining a little bit of the jewelry. Making some designs and patterns around. You can play around with the designs whatever you like. Similarly moving to some designs in the mukut as well. Adding all the details towards the sides. Now, similarly on the top we can also add some more details, just keeping it simple. Finally some more details over here. Adding a few red dots in the dhotar, making a nice pattern of 3 dots. The same thing on the other side. I'm adding some more jewels, so like probably a little bit of ruby with the red. Finally moving towards the black outline. Adding a few lashes. Continuing with all the black outline wherever we drew with the pencil, just going over with black color. So now to the mukut, I'm not giving an entire black border, just outlining the top of it. We will be uploading the picture of the finished artwork on the WhatsApp group. quickly finishing the outline. Moving on to the hands now. Finishing the outline for the dhoti, and just a little bit more to go. Finally, the leg. Let's see if we have missed anything. Yes, we have. Okay, and finally let's add the highlight in the eye with white paint. Whenever you're adding the highlight, make sure you put the highlight on the same side in the other eye as well. Now I'm adding two more, one smaller one at the bottom and a tiny spot at the side. And we are done with today's painting. You can add some more details in the necklace if you wish to. I'll be ending the session here. Thank you so much for attending our session today on Hanuman Jayanti, and see you back tomorrow. Bye bye.